Hey everybody, I'm back. Today we are going to talk about the news about real estate in Portugal, of course, news about things about living in Portugal as well. So, important news only. We're not gonna waste your time with irrelevant ones. Okay, so the first one I wanna. Welcome back. If you don't know me, my name is Marcos Fenelon. I've been a finance guy for a long time, and half of that in real estate. I found a development company in Portugal which has been active for 8 years. Okay, so the first one I want to show and to comment is this one. Look at this. Young people have already used 25% of the guarantee to buy a house. So this is the program that the government put ahead at the end of 24, and that gives tax exemptions, give 100% financing, and the government gives a guarantee to the banks. And of course the program has a limit, amount limit. So 25% of that limit is already taken in 6 months. 6 months, we have 25% of the program already done. And more important than that, look at this. In June, the government revealed that nearly 43,000 young people benefit from this scheme, which is quite a lot. I mean, I don't know, worldwide it's a lot, but for Portugal, it's quite a lot, just because it's even more than the annual production of the country. So the country is licensing, producing, constructing around 35 to 40,000 units per year. So in 6 months, only one program of the country goes and takes everything that the country can produce in a year. So this is very inflationary. I mean, it's highly inflationary. It puts the market in a awkward position, because construction is not going to go up very fast. I said that just before. Licensing, land, and workers are very difficult issues to amend. So that's a clear indication that we still have money in the program. We still have 75% of money in the program. And we are talking about a small portion of the market, which is people from 20 to 35 years old, taking out the production. So of course, those young people are not going out to buy new homes, but they are going to take used homes, new homes. They are going to take the inventory. They are going to take the vacant homes. So. And then we have another indication that the market is really hot. I mean, look at this second news. The title is not, the headline is not that, is a reverse, okay? So they say real estate market in decline. So what is in decline? It is in decline the listings. Property listings are going down. People are selling faster than the replacement is done. So what you see here is clearly a trend that I said before. So 9% of a fall in the listings, and then we have per region, per district. So between 8 in Lisbon and 12% in the beautiful island of Madeira. It's another indication that the market is hot. I want to talk about this specific news. It seems irrelevant, but it's actually a statement of what the market is here. So there's this beautiful project that it is under assessment of the city, under the assessment of the population and the city. It is, I mean, I come from a city that is maybe 20 times bigger, so it's going to allow 3 towers of 25 floors each, which is, in my understanding, is normal. I mean, it's regular. And go in New York to see something really big. So the first thing that I want to say is this. I think it's here in the end of the news. Here you go. There have been intentions to urbanize this area since at least 1916. It's more than 100 years that people are talking about constructing in that plot of land. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. It's almost impossible to conceive how much pushback there is in the market on the officials, on the people, on the population to increase footage, increase construction footage in the cities. How is going to be possible to a city like Porto, to a city like Lisboa, to the big cities, to grow if you're not allowing high rises? It's going to be impossible, right? So the government put this to public notice, and people can comment on that. And of course, the residents of that area, which is, by the way, the best area of Porto, the more expensive area of Porto, people of that area, it's absolutely against. I mean, they don't want that towards that. But at the end of the day, we are going to have a beautiful city. I mean, Porto is beautiful. And you have buildings only up to, most of the time, only up to 9 floors. So the city is beautiful. But it's very difficult for people that does not have houses, doesn't have a house, because it's not going to be a lot of constructions just because of this pushback. Although this is let's say a small event, it gives all the ingredients that I say in terms of the timing, more than 100 years, and the pushback from the residents. The next news is about the program that the government wants to build 59,000 houses by the end of this government. So there's this association of the developers, and the president of the association is saying, which, by the way, I agree, that it's going to be very difficult to the government to do this 59,000 houses. This guy, Hugo Santos Pereira, is doing what is the best interest of the construction side of the things. I mean, they're asking for 2 things. First, the VAT to 6%. Today is 23%. So he wants to go to 6%, so can lower down the prices. And then the second thing is about licensing, the licensing procedures. He also, somewhere here, he talks about the prices. So the way these programs are done is just like a bid, public bid. One municipality says I need 100 houses at X amount of euros. And on the other side, construction companies or development companies go there and say, well, I'm going to supply this for you. Don't worry. So the bids are not getting any candidacy. So people are not really bidding just because the price is wrong. The price is not enough to cover costs. So nobody's going to do that. So this news here is kind of old. It's from April. After that, the government increased the price. So we may have a start to people to bid on this program, to bid to construct on this program. Yet remains to be seen, though. We really don't know if it's really gonna happen. But anyway, one necessary step for that, which is increasing the prices because inflation, construction inflation is going crazy, was done. And hopefully the government can reduce also the VAT. What the government needs to reduce the VAT is the votes of the opposition. Either the biggest two parties of the opposition, either Chega or Partido Socialista, they have to vote with the government, and then we can reduce the VAT. That same reduction of the VAT was voted maybe a year ago, a year and a half ago, and was not approved. So by the end of the day, what is my opinion here? It's not going to be feasible, even with the VAT, with the prices, even with the license. There is the bottleneck of the construction workers. We're going to see it's going to be bad for construction workers. Some of the government's initiatives. So I'm not really putting a lot of credit to this initiative to resolve everything. Another very important news was just a phrase, but it's really, really important. I mean, look at this. The Prime Minister said today, if there are no more houses on the market, will not stop prices increases. In other words, what they're saying is, we are not going to control prices because we do have some parties like Bloco de Esquerda, this PE here, asking for price control. And as soon as we have price control, people start to liquidate their positions, and it's going to stop building. So it's really good that the Prime Minister said, you know what, this is not going to be our way of doing things. We are not going to make control. That's good news. That's really good news. Here's a picture of the Prime Minister. What I think is not so good news is the next news. Portugal approves anti-immigration package. Brazilians are the main victims. So for context, this is Público. Público is I think it's Portuguese, but they have a Brazilian branch. And so what we have here, which is important. First, for the first time in so many years, the Aliança Democrática, which is the party of the government, and Chega, which is opposition, they came to an agreement with something. I mean, with something relevant, of course, which is the immigration. Now, this law goes to the president, so the president can either sign, and becomes law, or he can send to the Constitutional Court. Why would he send to the Constitutional Court? Well, because there is some interpretation of the law. Some people think that it is unconstitutional. Mainly the fact that it's kind of creating two types of citizenship. So that's going, probably, my opinion here, and I'm not exactly a politics expert, but I see a big probability of this coming to the court. So I think President Marcelo is going to do that. So after recording the video, the president resolves to send the law to the Constitutional Court. Look, the president made harsh comments about this law. He sees government abuses, which is kind of a strong words in the document. So what he's saying is that the law contains a series of abuses, such as creating categories, oh, I'm sorry for my English, but creating categories of immigrants in relation to family reunification and imposing a long period of separation from children and spouses of those who choose to live in Portugal. He also questions the restriction on immigrants' ability to seek legal redress against failures of the agency, the IMA, the immigration agency. Also, Marcelo sees a dangerous urgency. So the law was approved in 16 working days. According to him, the process was made without effective consultation and hearings, including constitutional, legal, and procedural hearings, mandatory or otherwise. Or when requested, they were requested without respecting the legally established deadlines. So he's saying basically that the parliament rushed it to approve something without consulting the courts, the civil society, let's say. So now what I think is going to happen is the court is going to declare some parts of the law or all of the law unconstitutional. Marcelo is going to send the law back to the parliament, and the parliament will have to make the necessary adjustments to make the law constitutional. That's my bet, where I would put my money today. So that's it. That was after recording, and I wanted to include in this video this important update. What do we have in this package, which is important for us? What we have is they are closing one big door. One big door. They have already closed another big door 1 year ago, and they are closing, let's say, the final door this time. So what they don't want anymore? They don't want anymore that people can come as a tourist, then finds a job, and then applies for residence. They don't want this anymore. So that could be done in the past with a manifestação de interesse. That was done last year. And now what they have as a window was this CPLP program, which Brazilians, mainly Brazilians because it's the biggest population here, but Timoreses as well, they could enter the country as tourists, find a job, and then apply for this CPLP residence. So this law ends this. So at the end of the day, what the government is trying to do is stop manifestação de interesse, stop CPLP. So we are talking about really big numbers here. And replace that with a fast-track visa. This fast-track visa is a visa that only big companies can apply for. So that's the first difference. The companies are applying, not people. And the companies have to be big. I mean, 25 million euros of revenues, if I'm not mistaken. So it's not for, let's say, a hotel, a restaurant. It's not for even, I think, all the companies that build my projects, they are not 25 million per year in revenues. And not for the retail guy, not for, you know what I'm saying. It's going to be very restricted. And it's not going to be enough. So what I see clearly here is a problem of workers, a worsening of the problem of shortage of workers. I have to take this, just a second. I have to take this another piece of information here. Here you go, I found it. Here it is. Look, it's in Portuguese, I'm sorry for that. But what it's saying is low unemployment levels. And the next page is operating at a full employment. I mean, a country that received what? 300,000 and 23, 250,000 and 24. And even without this immigration, we still have full employment. And suddenly you will retract that. What do you think is going to happen? I mean, we are going to have a problem. See here, it says that the employment growth 4.4% in construction. I mean, my building here where I live, we contracted a company to do some rehabilitation of the building. And 100% of the workers were foreigners, 100%. And it's not a big company, it's a small company, it was a small job. And I see very clear a problem with construction companies, with hospitality companies, with retail companies, and agriculture companies. There's going to be a problem because the fast track program, it's not going to help everybody. It's going to help only big companies. And so this is another thing that makes me very, very doubtful about this construction that the government wants to make. So that's it. That was the news from the beautiful country of Portugal. If you know someone that is thinking about investing in Portugal, thinking about living in Portugal, or just are curious about market trends and real estate in general, consider sending this video to them. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up because I can reach more people, and I would appreciate that. And also hit the bell, subscribe and hit the bell for more videos like this. I hope you like this format, which is more, it's a long format, right? And I hope that you like this setup, which is kind of a more simple setup in terms of the camera and the lighting. And at the end of the day, I think what is important is the content. So let me know what you think, let me know what you think of the news, and I hope to see you another time, ok? Grande abraço de Portugal, te vejo na próxima, tchau!